Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, November 28th. Just here to give you a quick position update. I figured it was easier to do by video. We'll start with the simple one, which is the bearish butterfly for December. As you know, we got kicked around in this thing a little bit, and we were following it exactly by guidelines. We started out here at 800. And we did have a delta theta ratio problem, and at the time I stated that normally, and on my larger accounts, I didn't actually roll this forward due to the delta theta ratio, because again, the important thing with the delta theta is that if we did ever hit our 840 add point, that we would have rolled to 820 and then added the 840. Not so much that you jump on it, but I decided to go straight guidelines and jump on this roll when I hit a delta theta problem, and I rolled this up to 820. We then had our very hard sell-off all the way down to 765. When we got down to 780, which is our adjustment point if we are in this situation to protect against the downside move, we went ahead and sold this off and rolled back to 780. Now, from here, we have reset our reference point at 780, and I'm looking for 820 to add to the position. Well, first of all, I can't roll this forward even due to a delta theta problem, which I did have. I had a delta theta problem well before 800, actually, but I still can't roll it till 800. I did let this go to 805, 806. And I was letting the market sit here a little bit, just kind of holding off on my delta theta roll, see what the market was going to do. Today, when the market shot down, I saw that as my opportunity to roll this back without being too far underwater. And I went ahead and did this roll earlier this morning. And now this sits in this position here. I'm at 800. I have an add point at 820, or more specifically, when we exceed 820 near the end of the day. I may give it, if we're having a strong day, I may let it come up to 830 or so before I add, but I am going to add when we get up into this area. When I add, I may end up with a delta theta problem, so we may have to deal with that, but we'll see how that goes. So here's the position now. It's currently sitting down 2,900, which is no ways near our $15,000 maximum loss. As we stand, that wouldn't hit till around 850. Basically, what's going to happen here is if we get whipsawed back here again, this is my exit point right here, right around 790. We get whipped back, I'm going to take a small loss, or possibly if it takes a few days, we may take a small profit. But I'm not going to fight this to the downside again. This will be exited. If we continue up, I'm going to continue to follow the trade and at our 820. I'm sure we're going to have a delta theta roll at 830, so I'll be in an 820, 840 at that point, and then I should be able to withstand the move. We are going to have an add point at 840 to 860, and at that point I should be able to take a move to 860. I don't think we're going quite that high. I think we're going to reverse around 820, maybe 825. We shall see. If this goes here at a reasonable pace, if the market goes up at a reasonable or grinding pace, I could probably hold this position until probably right 850, which, if we look at our charts, is way up in here. If it goes very quickly, we'll probably max loss out. So that's the basic thing there. So we'll see what the market does and how fast it moves. If it gives us a break at all, we should be fine, but we shall see. All right, let's go back to the M3 and we'll see the condition that's in. I ended up over adjusting the M3 to the downside. Let's shut this down here. Okay, so here's what the M3 position looks like. This position should be up more money than this. I let this go last Friday night. I let this go a little too negative delta. I had a gamma trend problem, and the market shot up and took advantage of us. But what we've done this week, see, we have a million adjustments here. I've been kind of adjusting just one at a time, And like I said, we're still maintaining a profit here of about around $800. But let's see here. So basically what I've been doing here, I've been gradually, and this is pretty much the order we've done things in. And we'll just go from here. We had this very big pullback, and then of course we had a this huge V whipsaw, which has, again, we talked about this Sunday night, where this shouldn't have been too much of a surprise to us. And I also talked about being very, very bullish when we were down here, that we were going to get a very significant bounce. And it depended on where the market went as to how bullish this bounce is actually going to be. Our first potential stopping point was here. We can see it paused there. Our next potential stopping point is basically here, and then here. If it clears here, we're very likely going to 830. If it clears 830, then the traders are just insane bullish into the end of the year. So I would say the absolute highest we would make it is 850. I think the bearish butterfly can handle that. The M3, if it does that, it may take a small loss. We're kind of dependent on the M3, even more than the bearish butterfly, for the market to at least back off a little bit into expiration. If it does not do that, we may end up taking a small loss. But if it does back down at all and it's reasonable in the retrace, in other words, the market doesn't collapse, we should be fine with that trade also. So we were sitting here, and we basically have just been adding verticals and moving butterflies around. I added a, and this is just give you kind of sequence. You can look what the adjustments are there. Another 4 verticals here, another 2 here, and we see how we're gradually taking off our upside risk and letting the market go. Now, if I was really smart, I probably would have held it here. Even though I have bad Greeks at this point, my delta's fine, my gamma is fine, my theta is still positive, my vega is really positive. So, looking at this here, the Greeks aren't good, but as long as the market wants to continue to fly, as long as it doesn't stop, if it comes back a lot or goes up a lot, I'm really perfectly fine here. So it's not a big deal, but I decided to continue to follow the market. I guess I forgot to uncheck these. I decided to continue to follow the market on up, and at this point I have a bunch of butterflies at 750, I have some at 770, and I'm starting to pull the 750s all the way to 790 just to kind of start to catch up with things. And I'm just moving verticals around. This was a vertical we put in here we did it early in the week to take some of our capital out of the trade. I pulled off another butterfly in the back, added another vertical, rolled another one up to 790, rolled another one up to 790. So here is where we sit. We have 3 790 butterflies. I have 2 770 butterflies. I have 5 750s still, which are really doing nothing now except protecting downside. It's really dragging the trade down. What I could do is start just pulling those off, and if I simply pull these off, it'd make a big difference to our upside. If the market does continue, you will see me pulling these 750s off and gradually coming up to 790. That will create more of a hole here for me to fall into. So it is possible, depending on the speed of the market, I may change my plan. But for now, my plan here is to just gradually roll a few more of these up to 790. If we get up a little bit higher, I may start hitting them at 810. And like I said, if the trade is in absolutely no trouble, it does require a pullback to get into our profit range towards the end of the month. Being December, that may not happen, so I may do an alternative plan, and an alternative plan would be to continue to hit this with verticals, for example, and just take this risk away and just let it go. Just let the price go and not even worry about it. So that's another option that we have here. So we may end up doing something like that. But let me back this off. That's about it. So everything's still doing okay. We're handling the choppy market, or this huge whipsaw, We're handling it and still on top of our game. We shall see what the rest of the month brings, and I will talk to you on Sunday night. Thank you and good night.